Hi everyone, here's this tablet. I wrote an article about it, and since it's being sold for under 40,000 forints, I thought I should quickly put together a video as well, so you can see it in action. So this episode will be about that. Stay with me. Okay, so this is already the second G-tab that I've personally had in my possession. I honestly have absolutely no idea what kind of manufacturer this particular G-named company is. Their specific device is the G-tab Tab P10, a rather interesting name for a tablet. This device already has a relatively decent hardware. The other one I previously showcased on the channel was a very weak entry-level device, but this one already has quite acceptable capabilities. First, I'll show you the accessories, then I'll go over the specifications, and after that I'll talk a bit about what this device can be used for. Now, there are actually a few things about this particular machine that we really can't complain about, and one of them is clearly the impressive list of accessories. Considering that we're talking about a device that costs under 40,000 forints, the comprehensive list of accessories is truly generous. You also get a rather large box with it, which is absolutely necessary since everything they include genuinely needs to fit inside. And what exactly do they include? Well, let me tell you. First, we have the completely standard items. We have a charging head, which provides 2 amps of power. We also have a versatile USB-C cable, a handy SIM ejector pin, and a convenient OTG adapter. So far, I'd say this is a fairly standard set of accessories, although the OTG adapter isn't always included with every device. But in addition to this, we also get a screen protector, and of course we get cleaning wipes as well, so when we apply it, we can do it nicely on the device. In addition to all of that, we also get a very useful stylus, which truly lets us do all sorts of amazing things on the screen. We can draw, effortlessly flip through pages or whatever else we might desire, and as if that weren't quite enough, we also receive an incredibly good and protective back cover. Or more precisely, it's not just a simple back cover, it's actually a complete protective case. This is a case that's magnetic. When you carefully close it, it automatically turns off the tablet's display. And when you fold it up at the back, it can effectively function as a convenient stand, so you can easily set the tablet down on a table with it. And that's it. I think that for 40,000 forints, this package is really generous, so from this perspective, the manufacturer definitely deserves a big thumbs up. The device actually looks quite decent from the outside as well. You'd think that for 40,000 forints you'd get something completely plastic, but it turns out that's not the case because the back cover of the device is made of metal. It doesn't creak or crack at all. The overall assembly quality seems really truly good, so from this particular perspective, that's another significant plus point for this impressive device. There aren't too many flashy elements on it, as you can probably see for yourselves. This G letter reminds me a bit of the Apple logo. There must be some kind of resemblance. There's only one camera on the back and one on the front, and with that we're already getting into the specifications. The rear camera is 13 megapixels and the front one is 5 megapixels. We also have a SIM tray here on the side, but you can only put a memory card in it, so unfortunately with this cheap device, 4th generation connectivity is not an option. And here's another highlight of this device. It actually has 4 speakers. For a device under 40,000 forints, I think this is again quite outstanding, or rather surprising, and honestly, the sound quality isn't bad either. Obviously, you shouldn't expect too much bass from it, but considering the fact that it's a tablet, and especially given that it's a tablet under 40,000 forints, the sound is actually quite good indeed. So this is pretty much what the device looks like. As you can see, it's very sleek and minimalist, and the design of the casing actually resembles the current Apple design, so overall it looks really good. And now let's continue with the specifications, because that's obviously important. Honestly, there's not much interesting I can say about this. The display is, of course, an IPS panel, not AMOLED. The resolution isn't particularly impressive either, since it's just standard HD. Despite this, there's really no issue with the brightness or the colors, and the image actually looks quite good. As for the central unit, it's important to know that this device runs on a Tiger T606 chip. The T606 chip contains 8 cores, 2 faster A72 cores, and 6 slower A55 cores. There isn't a lot of memory, but the 4 gigabytes they've put in should be enough for the average user, in my opinion. However, the internal storage isn't bad. It's 128 gigabytes, which should be enough to store all kinds of movies, photos, videos, and other things. Although, to be honest, I have to say you probably won't be storing a lot of photos on this tablet because, as I mentioned, the camera resolution isn't very impressive. And let's face it, we don't really buy a tablet to take photos with it. The battery is relatively large, and the manufacturer claims that it can last for a whole day, providing roughly 8 to 9 hours of movie watching, which is actually pretty good again. So, all in all, we have a device under 40,000 forints, and its capabilities are pretty much what you'd expect from a device in this price range, except that it actually has an 8-core processor, 4 speakers, and its display is also relatively decent. One significant drawback I can mention is that, unfortunately, this particular tablet does not possess a certification or official rating, which ultimately means we won't be able to watch streaming services, shows, or broadcasts in full HD quality. But then again, we don't even have a full HD display to watch them on, so honestly, this isn't really that big of a problem. Maybe it's certainly worth mentioning Netflix, which will only stream in standard definition, but I've watched Netflix in SD before, so honestly, it's not such a truly huge tragedy if we have to watch Netflix in SD on a budget-friendly device like this. Other than that, it's absolutely suitable for all average tasks. Obviously, you're not really going to be able to play games on it because the Antutu score of around 200,000 that it can achieve is pretty weak by today's standards. So you'll be able to tinker with older games, but don't expect to play newer 3D wonders. If that's what you want, you'll need to get a more powerful device. But for everything else, I think it's perfect. So for streaming too, if you're okay with Netflix in SD quality, looking up recipes in the kitchen while cooking, browsing the internet, using Facebook, watching YouTube, for these kinds of purposes, this device is absolutely great. The T606 chip does indeed have the drawback that there's no mobile data connectivity and it doesn't have GPS functionality either, so this particular device is mainly suitable for home use with Wi-Fi, but for that specific purpose it's pretty much perfect. As I said, this won't be a long video and I'll wrap it up here because there really isn't much more to say about this device. If you're interested, as I mentioned, I also wrote an article about it, and you can find the link to that in the video description on YouTube. I'll also put a coupon code there, which you can use to buy it for under 40,000 forints, and there will also be a link where you can purchase it for under 40,000 forints. If you truly liked this video, then please pick one of the other 2 fantastic videos appearing right next to me. Hopefully you'll genuinely enjoy those too, and please don't ever forget to subscribe to my wonderful channel. Thanks so very much for watching this detailed review. I'll be back again very soon with another exciting one. Take good care, look after yourselves, and do come back again soon. Bye for now.